Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Pawadarni, Salesforce developer. Today we are going to see how to learn for the JavaScript certification from the scratch. I decided to post the video series about the JavaScript developer certification preparation, pro tips, and model question for the exam, and exam preparation tips and everything. Let's see the path for the certification. There are two different prerequisites for the certificate. The first one is Lightning Web Component Specialist Super Batch. We have to complete that, which is available in the trailhead. I will post in the description. The next one is multiple choice exam. Of course, this is just the exam similar to the other certifications like PAB, admin, developer, something like that. And so these are the two things we have to complete in order to get the JavaScript developer certificate. The reason why they are asking us to complete the LWC specialist super badges, to write the LWC component, we need the JavaScript knowledge. So that's why they're asking us to complete it. For every video or for every meetup, I will start my slide with this question. Why should I learn this JavaScript? Like, why should I watch your video or why should I attend the meeting? I will just always make the audience feel they are investing their time in something valuable. So these are the 4 reasons you should watch this video series. The first one is to understand LWC component. So to understand the LWC component, we need definitely the JavaScript knowledge or some JavaScript basics. The reason is I started writing LWC component while I were a beginner. I was just started learning this LWC component before 3 years ago. But so I just used all these keywords before import, export, and spread operator, this kind of arrays, objects, everything. But I don't know why I'm using it. The exact the reason, and I couldn't parse this particular code in my mind. So that's why I suggest everyone to learn the JavaScript before writing the LWC component. The next one is to migrate Aura component or Visual Force to Lightning Web component. Yeah, you heard right. In many projects, they might have this requirement. In previous stage, they might have this particular implementation in VF page or as the Aura component, but they want you to convert all those logic into LWC in order to maybe improve their performance or to improve their user experience. So in order to migrate from one framework to another LWC framework, you have to understand the key concept of JavaScript. Then only you can just successfully write all the client-side validations and client-side processing using JavaScript successfully. Next one is third point. It is simple to upgrade. Many of them may or may not give importance to this third point, to upgrade ourselves. Yes, we are in the competitive environment, and maybe our juniors uh, have already completed this JavaScript developer certification. They already have the knowledge about the JavaScript. Then to upgrade ourselves and also to live in this competitive world, we have to definitely learn this JavaScript, especially if you are a Salesforce developer. The next one is to provide the best solutions. If you are in your career, like midlife career, like above 4.5 years experience, then we have to definitely uh, we are in the stage to consult something, to write a solution approach like architect or like a pro. In order to provide the best solutions, we have to learn JavaScript, because then only we can compare this particular requirement can be efficient by using Visual Force page or Aura component or Lightning Web component. So again, in order to write the Lightning Web component, we have to learn the JavaScript. So if you know something, then only we can provide the best solutions, right? So these are the 4 reasons we have to definitely learn the JavaScript. The next slide is what is JavaScript. So you might heard like JavaScript is the scripting language or it's a programming language. I would say JavaScript is the scripting or programming language, so which is used in all across the web pages or for applications and everything. So I have pasted this diagram: HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript. The reason why I posted in this particular combination is for every website, it will be in this combination. We'll have some HTML, we'll have some styles, and then this particular JavaScript. I can explain by using this. So HTML is nothing but it's a kind of a markup language. We will describe something. We will give some structure for that particular piece of code. And CSS, we can add some colors, we can bold, we can add some layers, we can add some layout, something like that. We can design. And final one is JavaScript. JavaScript, when you want to do something more dynamic and when you want to introduce some actions to the static code, then we can use JavaScript. For example, I just want to display the player name. So I just included by using paragraph tag. This is HTML. And I want to add some colors, some texture for the particular text. Then I added my CSS. So in order to make this particular thing more dynamic, I will write the JavaScript. So this is the JavaScript code. You don't have to worry about it if you don't understand this particular thing. So when I added the JavaScript, if you click this, then it will ask us to enter the name. Just entering the name. Then it dynamically changes the content. Yeah, as I said, so the website is also the combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in high level for the understanding I'm saying, but it has various programming languages and various frameworks. So for the beginners, this is a simple example how you can visualize HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML is just the structure or outline for the particular content, similar to the skeleton. If we want to add some more styles, then I will write some CSS to convert the skeleton to human. And finally, to add some actions, I will write the JavaScript. Yes, human being can do everything. So this is how we can simply interpret the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Of course, this is not only just converting the skeleton into human being. In real time, we do have many examples like Google Maps, validations, gaming, graphics, and smartwatch. The reason why I mentioned validation, if you're a Salesforce developer, you might come across a scenario like we have to validate the data or the user input before sending into the database or before uh, hitting the server. Then we have to perform the client-side validations first instead of performing in the Apex class. So for this validation purpose, this JavaScript will be really helpful for us. Okay, so next topic is variables. Variables is a building block of JavaScript because this is kind of a basics which we should be very strong. Variables are the containers for storing data, as I mentioned. So why should we use variables instead of just giving the value explicitly? Let's see. So if you want to write the JavaScript or if you want to execute the JavaScript code, what you have to do, just click the new tab and then right click inspect. Then you will get some page like this. Don't freak out, just click the console. Now here we go. So what we are going to see is variables. So why we have to use the variables? Why can't we just give the value explicitly? Let's see. I'm just going to give my first name and then my last name. So now I want to print my full name. How shall we do that? Again, I have to explicitly mention my first name and then my last name, right? Okay. If I'm just entering my friend's name, how shall we just display the full name again? Again, I have to write like this explicitly, right? Then why we are writing JavaScript? So we have to make this is more dynamic, right? So in order to access those values in future, to process those values, we need variables. We have to store all these variables in some container, right? So to store those values, we need the variables. So now let's store these values inside the variable. So how to write a variable? So we have to use var keywords. And then I'm going to create a variable called first name. Now I'm going to enter my name. I'm storing my first name inside this variable. Similarly, I'm going to store my last name inside this particular variable. And finally, I want to print the full name, right? So now I'm going to, here's the thing. Now I'm not going to explicitly write like Pavadarni space Ganesan. Instead, I'm going to use the variable name. Okay, here the variable name is first name. So first name plus, I need some space between my first name and last name, and then last name. So I'm not writing my value, I'm just writing the variable name. Perfect. So now let's print the full name. Here we go. We got the output. So previously, how we achieved the same output, we just explicitly mentioned my first name and last name because we didn't have any variable before that. But now we have the variable, so I just use that particular variable in order to print the full name. So this is how we can access the value by using the variable name. If I'm just giving my friend name in the same variable, okay, now let's just print the full name. Okay, so again we have to process the full name because we didn't store this particular thing. Let's write yeah. Now if I print the full name, then we got the output as this particular thing. So this is how we are using the variables. So variables is not only just to write the string, but also I can write some Boolean is available true. So this is the Boolean variable, and this is the number. So the data types may be different. It may be string, it may be Boolean, it may be number, but we are using the same keyword var for each and every different data types, right? Let's see how we are calling this particular concept. Yeah, here it is. So this is called loosely typed. You might hear about this keyword the other programming languages because many of them might be loosely typed or not be loosely typed. So loosely typed means we're using the same variable keyword. We are not explicitly mentioning this is string, this is integer, this is boolean, like that. So instead of mentioning explicitly the data type, the JavaScript itself will dynamically take the data type based on the value. For example, this is the apex. So in apex, we have to explicitly mention this is string, and then we are just providing the value. So then only the system will understand, okay, this is the string and this is the integer and this is the boolean. But in JavaScript, we are simply mentioning var. The system will itself interpret the data based on the value, right? So that's why it's called loosely typed. And next point I mentioned is JavaScript is the case sensitive. Let's see what is that. So I already created the value variable by using its available keyword, right? So now I'm going to create another variable using its available keyword, but the first letter is in capital. So here the first letter is in small, right? Let's see whether it is allowing us or not. Yes, it is allowing, and I'm going to print that particular variable. It is displaying as false. It is not fetching true. Because JavaScript is a case sensitive, we have to careful while naming the variables. Otherwise, it will result in some duplication while fetching the variable in future. Yeah, we have covered what is variables and which keyword we have to use and how it is case sensitive, why it is loosely typed, and its example. So, how to initialize a variable? As I said, we have to give the var keyword and then the name, variable name, and then finally the value. So we already seen this example. Next one is comment line in JavaScript. So comment line, why we have to use the comment line first of all? So to give the user uh, the purpose of this particular code, some user understanding, right? So I just writing single line comment, how to write a variable. So for single line comment, we have to just give backslashes, two backslashes. For multiple line comment, we have to give backslash and then star. Variables are used to store the value. And the close is again the star and then backslash. So this is how we have to write the single line comment and then multiple lines comments in JavaScript. I hope it's clear. Okay, next slide is rules for constructing the variable. So this thing is really different in each and every programming language. If you are writing in Apex, the rules might be different. And for JavaScript, it might be different. Like it should not start with the special characters, it should not start with the numbers, it should not start with the underscore, something like that. So there are a lot of rules for constructing the variable. Please learn by yourself and let me know in comments. So next video is all about data types. This is an important topic where we will discuss about each and every data type like null, number, string, boolean, object, array, everything with the examples, also along with the tips, also along with the exam model questions where I will ask some questions to you. Yeah, these are the things we have seen today. We started with the path for the JavaScript certification and we started with the question, why should I learn JavaScript? And then what is JavaScript? And then I just provided some example how JavaScript merges with the other languages and real-time examples of JavaScript, what is variables, and I just highlighted two different points, two important points, case sensitive and loosely typed. And then how to initialize the variable, how to write the comment lines in JavaScript. That's it. So that's all we have covered today. And one more pro tip. Finally, I just want you to give. If you're really a beginner, like totally a beginner, if you are writing JavaScript for the first time, then please be mind with the capital letter, small letter. As I said, JavaScript is the case sensitive. How it will affect means like you will be trying this particular variable topic by your own, but while writing the var keyword, please do not write capital VAR and then some variable like word. This is wrong because the V should be in small letter. Everything should be in small var keyword, and then I'm just giving some variable name. Yeah, this is correct. So you should be careful with the capitalization while writing the JavaScript. Otherwise, it will just throw the error. So it is same for the keywords, other standard keywords, built-in keywords. So here it is just throwing the value like true is not defined. Why? We have to use the small letters. That's why it is throwing the error. And this is the important thing which will be really helpful for you for your learning process. I will post the question in the description box based on the topics we covered today. So please don't forget to write the answer in comments so that we can discuss if needed. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel if you really like this video. Thank you.